Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is a very special moment and a special day. Many months and years have gone into planning for this. And as I stand here looking at everybody assembled, I have to think that this statue did not sneak into Grand Traverse County. Not with a motorcade of 60-plus motorcycles and police cars and Humvees. This statue was brought in a motorcade where school children stood along the highway in Bear Lake with simple pieces of paper with gold stars on those papers. Flags lined the route. And why is that? It's a statue, but it means so much more. On Memorial Day, we think about the men and women who lost their lives in battle for our great country. But we need to know that it's more than just the men and women on the battlefield, but the families that suffer as well. And that's why I'm honored to be your MC today for the unveiling of this beautiful statue. Thank you for that opportunity. Right now, we'd like to welcome some of the groups that are here today to help honor and dedicate this statue. American Legion Post 35, combination with Cherryland VFW Post 2780. American Legion Post 219, Fife Lake, the American Military League. The Daughters of the American Revolution. Calava, Bear Creek Post 6333, Michigan State Police Honor Guard. Calava, Bear Creek Post 6333, Rolling Thunder, Michigan Chapter 1. Sons of the Revolution, Sons of the Union Veterans, United States Coast Guard, the Blue Star Mothers Organization. And one gentleman, I want to also introduce and recognize some folks that are here. I should do that. Congressman Jack Bergman is in attendance today. Former State Rep Ray Franz is here. Current Representative Kurt Vanderwall. The Cherry Queen, Ashley Schichtel. And one gentleman that definitely needs no introduction to many, but for those of you who might not be around these parts much, we've got to welcome Richard Cupcake Rizzio. Battle of the Bows. He's no cupcake. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem with Allison Beers and the posting of colors by the United States Coast Guard.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I would ask everyone who is able to remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be given by Lieutenant Aaron Nolan.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we would now have our opening prayer from Major Brian Martinez.
Will you please bow your heads? God of heaven and earth, we welcome your presence with us. Our surroundings reveal the splendor of your creation. We marvel at your beauty. And yet, with the changing seasons from summer to fall and the colors changing around us, we know that our time is fleeting. With that in mind, Lord, help us to celebrate each moment. Help us to live each moment with great intention. And in the midst of this moment, Lord, be with us as we celebrate and honor Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families for their sacrifice and service in defense of our great nation. Today we celebrate the lives of our service members and their families, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who loved life and loved liberty. Service members who walked and served besides us. Service members who answered the call of duty with integrity and honor. Those service members left us too soon, and their absence is profound. We can never repay the debt and gratitude owed to these service members and the Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families. But it's our prayer, Lord, that neither the passage of their time nor the circumstances of lives will dim the tribute that we pay with our words, our memorials, and with our lives. And all of God's people said, Amen.
Now I'd like to invite to the podium to discuss the history of the Blue to Gold Star families, United States Coast Guard Commander Nathan Coulter.
Thank you. It's a tremendous honor to be here, and I know that I'm not telling anybody here anything new, but in the few months that I've been in northern Michigan, I've been overwhelmed by this community. It's an impressive beacon of patriotism, service before self, community pride, and classic Americana. Thank you for letting me and my family, as well as all of the Coast Guardsmen at our base and their families, the opportunity to share and contribute and become an integral part of this community. Being here and speaking before you today is truly an honor. Before I continue with my remarks, though, I'd like to speak briefly on behalf of the air crew that was part of that impressive motorcade that brought this statue here from Ludington last week. After they flew over that long line of cars, motorcycle riders, police, fire, EMS vehicles, and that huge American flag, that crew came back and found me in my office to let me know how humbled and how honored they were to have been part of that escort event. So thank you very much for including them. I feel the same way. When I was asked to participate here today, the question going through my mind wasn't, will my schedule allow me to be there? What was going through my mind was absolutely yes. What other events do I need to cancel to make it here and make it happen? Because this is not an optional event for me, and there's nothing more important today than honoring our Gold Star families, especially our nation's Gold Star mothers, for their sacrifice. Thank you. So I was asked to say a few words about the history, meaning, and context of the terms Blue and Gold Star, because perhaps not everyone may be aware. So when one uses the term Blue or Gold Star as a prefix to a familial term such as mother, father, spouse, brother, sister, they're really making a reference back to something that has its origins back in World War I. The United States officially entered the war in April 1917 and immediately thereafter mobilized all of its population and economy to produce food, supplies, munitions, and money that would be necessary to win the war. And as households throughout the country sent off their children to fight a war on foreign soil, some families felt a calling to publicly acknowledge the pride that they held for their family members serving in the armed forces. In Cleveland, Ohio, an Army veteran and father of two sons in the armed forces designed and patented a rectangular flag characterized by a red border surrounding a field of white. And in that white field were blue stars. Each blue star was sewn in to represent each immediate family member that was serving in the armed forces. And this was, and it still is, called a service flag. Well, very quickly, these service flags, or they were also known at the time Blue Star banners, became a common sight in windows and porches across the country. Also happening the following year, at the request of the Women's Committee on National Defenses, President Woodrow Wilson supported a modification to an existing traditional symbol of mourning at that time. It was the black armband. He specified that members who had lost a child serving in the war could wear a gold gilt star, a gold fabric star, on these black mourning armbands as a symbol of their unique loss. So almost immediately, these two displays of pride and mourning merged, and families began replacing or sewing over those blue stars with gold stars if their family member was killed in the war. And the use of these national symbols of service and sacrifice, the service flag, blue stars, gold stars, they continue to this day as a reminder that freedom isn't free. And they inform members of the community about the price that individuals and families have paid in the cause of that freedom. Congratulations to everyone here who had a part in making this unveiling a reality. Your dedication, service, and sacrifice have brought an amazing and emotionally gripping statue over there that will evoke, I'm sure, a visceral reaction in all, ensuring that viewers never forget those service members that have served and died, as well as the sacrifice and pain felt by family members left behind. I'm deeply honored to be part of this event and to be here with such an impressive group of veterans, patriots, Blue Star families, and especially the Gold Star mothers and the Gold Star families we have here in the audience today. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to introduce to the front a woman who can discuss the topic and the thoughts of sacrifice. I also understand Pam Ahrens is the woman who first thought of the idea of this statue at this memorial park. Pam Ahrens.
Good afternoon. Starla and Calvert asked me to say a few words about my vision for this statue. When I first saw the picture of the statue, I was struck by the sadness. Then I read the caption underneath, and it really hit home. It reads, "I'm here alone, but I represent every mother, every father, and every kindred soul that has lost a soldier on the field of battle. I sit because the burden I carry has become too great for me to bear. I shed these tears in hope that you may never know my pain. I bow my head to ask God to protect them and comfort me. I wear this pin to represent their light that will forever shine in me, and I hold this American flag close to my heart to remind me that this nation is protected at their cost. I will rise again. I will dry these tears. I must be strong and remember how they stood tall and proudly for me. Never forget these brave fallen few. They are my sons, my daughters. Their ultimate sacrifice was for me and for you. Being a mom, I couldn't even imagine what it would do to me to lose my daughter. We all take so much for granted, thinking we and our kids are immortal. We never know how much time we have. And this statue really made me think about life. Parents aren't supposed to bury their kids, but war changes everything. We should all thank the Gold Star families who have given their children in service to our country. Excuse me a minute. Both the parents and their children deserve this honor. So, every time you go by and see this beautiful statue, think of all the families who have made the ultimate sacrifice and be thankful. This was my vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NMC Concert Band. I would now like to re-invite to the front here to talk to the Gold Star Mothers, Chaplain Major Brian Martinez.
When Starla asked me to come talk on behalf of the Gold Star Mothers, I said it could be a dangerous thing, Starla, giving the mic to a chaplain on a Sunday. But I'd like to start by saying it's an honor for me to be invited to speak on this September 24th National Gold Star Mother Day. And be part of such a recognition for those surviving family members who have lost a loved one in defense of our great nation throughout time. Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families know the cost of freedom. And we come on days like today to remember that cost, to tell their stories, the stories of your service members, and honor their lives that they have given to our grateful nation. In communities throughout Michigan and throughout the United States today, people pause to recognize Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families. I thank you for the freedoms that we have and the liberties that we have because of the sacrifices your service member have made for our freedoms. I had to admit I was a little scared to come talk to families that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Having served in the military or have a loved one who have served in the military, words can't describe the loss some of you must be feeling. For those here today who have served, thank you. For those family members who have supported a service member who have served, thank you. For those who have had a loved one overseas that you've prayed for day in and day out, thank you. And for the Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families present today, my heart expresses a heartfelt condolence for your loss. And I pray God's continual healing for you and your family in your life. Know that your service member will not be forgotten. It's days like today that we can gather and honor and remember their sacrifices that they have given us and given to all. I tell people that service members' families are the ones that suffer the most. It's easy for us who wear the uniform to get up day in and day out, put it on, and go to work. For us in uniform, we love our job. We love to serve our nation, just as your family members love to serve the nation, and they love to put on their uniform. For me, my wife and 3 kids, children 5 and under, they suffer the most for me being gone all the time to training and all the time to work. Without this service member's family, many service members could not do their job. I know each Gold Star mother and Gold Star family here today have suffered the effects of war. They've supported your loved ones and their friends during this time of conflict. And you guys know the cost of freedom is not free. For Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families that have experienced the knock at the door of your casualty notification team delivering the worst news of your life, my heart goes out to you. Having a family of my own and working in casualty operations for the past 3 years for the Michigan National Guard as a casualty operation chaplain, the 63 casualty notifications I participated in and conducted, I picture in the back of my mind that could be my family someday when my kids, my children get older. And it makes me do my job more proficiently and with more compassion because I know the sacrifices each Gold Star mother and family have made. And oftentimes I struggle with that loss and struggle with the family as they try to make sense of the tragedy that has taken place. These are the memories that keep me awake at night and haunt my dreams. Freedom is not free. For each Gold Star mother here, a Gold Star family, you truly know the cost. You know the sacrifice because you've lived it and you live it. Your service member has given their life in defense of our great nation. And as we unveil this memorial today, know that your service member's sacrifice will not be forgotten, and neither will yours. There's memorials like this in Traverse City, throughout the state of Michigan, in the United States of America, that will keep your loved one's memory alive. As we spend time in reflection today on your service member's life and each family here affected by war, this Gold Star Mother's Memorial tells that story. It helps us to raise awareness of the sacrifice that you have endured as well as your family. And it helps us keep your loved one's memory alive. This is why we gather here today, to honor those memories. This is why we gather here today, to preserve those memories. For the Gold Star mothers, heartfelt condolences and thank you for your service and sacrifice. Thank you for giving up your service member so we can have the liberties we have today. May God bless you, and may God bless America, and may God bless the American way of life.
Please join me in singing God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Allison Beers, please be seated. At this point, there is a rose presentation by the Blue Star Mothers, Chapter 187. And I would like to introduce to the microphone and the podium, Probate Court Judge, the Honorable Melanie Stanton.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will never forget the day that Vicki Hayes left a message at my work and asked me to come here to speak today to thank all the Gold Star mothers for their service and of their children. I was overwrought. I was just so excited. And it took me a couple days to really put in perspective what she was asking me. But I am so glad to be here, and I am so glad to honor all of you. And I will now proceed. We have gathered here today on Gold Star Mothers and Family Day 2017 to honor and offer our deepest respect and thanks to the women and men those children have given their lives in defense of the ideals of liberty that we have as a community and nation embraced. Who is a Gold Star mother? During the early days of World War I, a blue star was used to represent each person, a man or a woman, serving in the military. As the war progressed and lives were lost in combat and from the wounds of war, that blue star would be replaced by a gold star. That gold star signified honor and glory to the family for their sacrifice and devotion of their loved one to our nation. In 1918, a brave woman with a gold star on her banner, Grace Siebold, who had lost her son in the war, recognized that self-contained grief that she battled was destructive. So Grace extended a hand of friendship to other mothers like her who had lost a child fighting for our nation. And the foundation for the Gold Star Mothers was born. In 1939, A resolution was approved by Congress. The Gold Star Mother's Day was officially recognized as the last Sunday in September. Today, here, 102 years later, the success of this organization continues because of the bond of mutual love, sympathy, strength, and support of the many loyal, capable, and patriotic mothers who have challenged their time and effort to lessen the pain of others. American Gold Star women stand proud and tall by honoring their children, assisting veterans, supporting our nation, and healing each other. American Gold Star mothers have made a sacrifice for the sake of our country, the loss of their sons and daughters. On Gold Star Mothers and Family Day, every participating Gold Star mother or family member is presented with a yellow rose. Each yellow rose will be delivered by a Blue Star mother. A Blue Star mother is a mother who has a child in active military duty. This yellow rose symbolizes the deepest respect for the Gold Star mothers and families who have lost their children. I will now read the name of those brave Americans from northern Michigan who gave their life for our country. Our community and nation recognize and thank every mother, father, spouse, sister, nephew, and grandparent for their ultimate sacrifice and loss. Remembering is an act of resurrection in memory of those who gave their life for our country and those we love. We will never forget. Out of tragedy, we were formed. Out of love, we continue. Sergeant First Class Matthew D. Blaskowski, September 23rd, 2007. Sergeant Trevor A. Blumberg, September 14th, 2003. Sergeant First Class Michael Cathcart, November 14th, 2014. Sergeant John Contrell, January 19th, 1969. Chief Petty Officer Paul J. Darga, August 22nd, 2006. Tech Sergeant Calvin Davis, November 30th, 1944. Sergeant Dylan B. Fox, February 5th, 2010. Specialist Robert Fries, April 27, 2011. Private First Class Sean D. Gados, June 6, 2007. Sergeant Christopher J. Gould, February 27th, 2011. Specialist Christopher T. Griffin, October 3rd, 2009. Sergeant Justin M. Hansen. Specialist Eric Harm, December 28, 2012. Observation Pilot Randy V. Hines, June 19, 1971. Private Frank L. Keck, June 29th, 1969. Staff Sergeant Drew Kostick, December 18th, 2016. Specialist Joseph M. Lancourt, November 10th, 2007. Sergeant Gregory McCoy, November 9th, 2006. Paul Miller, July 19th, 2010. Specialist Matthew Moyer, January 15th, 2012. Staff Sergeant Donald Munn, October 11th, 2007. Sergeant Michael Nath, August 27th, 2011. Staff Sergeant Cameron Neal Somshell, January 25th, 1944. Is his sister present? Okay. Private, First Class, Justin Payton, February 17th, 2007. Sergeant Noah Pippin, 2010. Sergeant Ralph N. Porras, September 2nd, 2006. Specialist Joseph Prentler, October 4th, 2010. Nicholas R. Rausch, August 16th, 2009. Tech Sergeant Matthew S. Schwartz, January 5th, 2012. Sergeant Chad Volmer, December 23rd, 2006. Sergeant Matthew Weber, April 27, 2006. Sergeant Matthew West, August 30th, 2010. Staff Sergeant Andrew Seif, March 10th, 2015. Sergeant Ryan F. Coyer, thank you. At this time, we are going to ask the Gold Star mothers and family members that are standing up present to follow Vicki and I to the Gold Star statue so we may unveil it.
Breath of God, make you to shine like the light and hold you in the palm of his hand. something just told me that my son would want to be there. And I came never knowing that my son would be right after that. But we were there. And I
Take out front.
darling girl, hi, Mom. I was trying to get... Oh, he does everything.
Will you please bow your heads for the closing benediction? Lord, as we face the future, Lord, grant us the hope and courage to face whatever lies ahead. Let the bonds of unity grow stronger day by day. And as we continue to express gratitude for these Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families, keep our hearts always grateful before you. And finally, Lord, as we depart, may the love of God be over us to protect us. May the strength of God be beneath us to uphold us. May the wisdom of God be before us to guide us. May the presence of God go with us to sustain us. And may God grant us joy and peace, which the world cannot give nor take away. And all of God's people said, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for coming on behalf of the Gold Star families, of course. We were all here today to witness this. This statue will be here forever, so please, wherever you go, invite people to come and see it so that we all can remember. Yes, and I don't know if anybody has said this, but this is the first, only the second statue like this in the country, the first in Michigan. Thanks again for coming.